Hello and welcome back to Hyperplay RPG. So pretty excited today. We've got a video about the top 5 accessories that you can, and a couple that you absolutely must get for your RG35XX H. We've got a lot to get through, so let's get cracking with number 1. You've just bought your RG35XX H. It's arrived in the box. Pretty basic stuff in there, as you know, and you got your manual. Not many people will read the manual, to be honest. It's not the clearest. It has some useful information, but crucially, down at number 6, it says for charging, use a 5 volt 2 amp 4 lines charging data cable. And yes, here it is. But what is absolutely crucial is that you only use this cable. Fine. So you only use that cable, don't use your smartphone cable or anything else, because it will fry the RG35XX H potentially, and there have been reports of people using other cables. You must use this cable, but what you're also going to need, and this is one of the absolutely essential must-buy accessories, is a 5 volt 2 amp charging brick. We've got the UK one, obviously. We picked this one up on AliExpress for about £4. Now, I highly doubt we're going to be able to get it to focus, but it does say on it that it's a 5 volts 2 amps. Okay, so that is what you have to use. Don't use your Samsung phone charger, any other charging brick that you might use for charging up even things like your Switch, whatever. You absolutely must get a 5 volt 2 amp one, and then use the cable supplied. Otherwise you run the very real risk of frying your RG35XX H and not being able to use it again. On the back of the machine itself, 5 volt and then 1.5 amp, but you're going to need a 5 volt 2 amp charging brick. Don't use anything else, please, and only use the cable supplied with the unit. So that is accessory number 1, and that is absolutely essential. So let's pop that one up there as a reminder. Moving on to number 2, and this is also essential because there have been many reports that the SD card that the unit comes with, will look something like that, will stop working, and pretty soon. Now that's not a surprise, because often with these Chinese consoles you'll get a unbranded SD card which will last a little bit of time but will soon fail. But the problem with this is, if it fails, it might actually brick your system. It might actually brick the console itself. Now there are videos online by fairly well-known YouTubers like Shane Craig, saying that this happened with them while they were testing the unit, and he goes through what you need to do. A, if you've fallen into this situation where you've been using the unbranded SD card supplied with the unit and your H has then become bricked, what you can do to remedy the problem. But it's also the same as what you can do to avoid the problem in the first place, which is to put this to one side and then go and buy your own branded SD cards, or one SD card. We suggest 2. We suggest 2 for very good reasons. So use this for the operating system. So for this we went for a SanDisk high endurance 32 gigs, and we keep the operating system on that. And then another SD card, 128 gigs is about perfect. We went for the Samsung Evo Select. That can be for the ROMs. Now the reason we go for 2 is because, usefully, Anbernic have been updating the operating system, the stock operating system, through their website. And it keeps getting better and better, and they're updating it quite regularly, often more than one update per month. And the latest one comes with a new emulator for the N64, and the one before that allowed you to watch videos on your RG35XX H. So if you keep this for updating the stock operating system, and then you have a second one which can just have your ROMs. So then you won't be losing your ROMs every time you update the operating system. I hope that makes sense. So yeah, you want to update your operating system probably fairly regularly to take advantage of the increased performance and so on, but you don't want to be losing your ROMs, which you would do if everything was all on the same SD card. So one card for the operating system, one card for your ROMs. These worked absolutely perfectly. SanDisk 32 gigs and Samsung 128. And we would say, again, that that is absolutely essential to get a branded SD card. Shane Craig, who I mentioned previously, who had a problem with his system getting bricked by using the unbranded SD card that the console came with, he uses Amazon Basics. So if you wanted to keep costs down, maybe you could try Amazon Basics SD cards. We've never used them, so we won't recommend them. But, you know, he's a well-known and well-respected YouTuber in this area. So I expect that if he says Amazon Basics SD cards will do the job, then by all means try those. So those are the first two essential accessories: the charging brick, 5 volts 2 amps, and the branded SD cards. Now the next three that we've got for you, next three accessories, these are more ones which are preferable. For instance, if you want to consolize your H, plug it into your TV or your monitor, then you'll need a mini HD to HD cable. And again, we picked up one of these on AliExpress. It was about £4 delivered. It works like an absolute dream. We went for the 3 meter long option, which gives you the perfect length to sit from your TV, I suppose, depending on how big your TV is. I mean, ours isn't super huge. It's about 48 inches, I believe, so fairly small by today's standards. But a 3 meter cable, you plug it in to the mini HD slot on the top of your console. This will unfurl all the way to your TV, and you'll be able to play it in the hand very nicely. If you want to go the full consolizing route when you're plugging in the H into your TV, then you'd like a Bluetooth controller potentially as well, because then you've got this one plugged into the TV, and then you've got another one which may be more comfortable to hold, or if you wanted to play 2-player. And our favourite Bluetooth controller, might not surprise you to know as we're big SNES fans, is the, well, I think this was the SF30 Pro by 8-Bit Do, or 8-Bit Do, whatever you want to say. Fantastic controller, and the H will recognise this controller straight away once you've put the H's Bluetooth on, and you've got this pairing as well. We recommend RetroArch because that has great Bluetooth controller support. You may need to go into the input menu in the RetroArch settings and go down to the port 1 and maybe port 2 controls. You go down there and you flick from D-Play keys to the SF30 Pro, or whatever your Bluetooth controller is called, option. So this one will come up under RetroArch as, for some reason, it's called D-Play Keys Controller, DEEPLAYS. And this one will come up with, you know, whatever the name is of your Bluetooth unit controller. You just need to find it and then save all your settings in RetroArch in the configuration menus, which is always something we forget to do, but very important, and you'll be all good to go. So there we go. That's more of an optional purchase, because as I say, you can just use this one plugged straight into the TV with your mini HDMI to HDMI cable. Again, 3 meters was a good length. And last but not least, our favourite accessory, probably because we're biased and we helped develop it, is our case stroke grip, and RH absolutely lives in this one way or the other. So when we're out and about, slot it in that way, screen facing inward, screen's completely safe. We've now taken it in and out of this one hundreds of times. Still solid, in terms of its the way it fits. Nicely snug in there, and we just chuck this in our coat pocket and off we go. When we want to play, flip it round, pop it back in. I've got a superb grip which allows for extended play sessions and also easy access to the thumbsticks and, which was a nice surprise, the shoulder buttons as well. Now if you want to get hold of this fantastic grip stroke case, we'll put a link in the description. We've done a review as well. We worked hard with our favourite 3D printers of choice here in the UK to get this developed, and so it's an absolute essential must-have accessory for £13 delivered, and the coupon code HYPERPLAY, all one word, HYPERPLAY, you can use at checkout to get yourself an extra 10% off. So there we have it. The 5 essential, well, the 5 best, let's say, accessories for your RG35XX H. A couple of which, these guys up here, are absolutely essential. Otherwise you run the risk of bricking, potentially terminally, your H. But as long as you're careful and use the right charging block, cable, SD cards, then you can have a great time with it. You can consoleize it. You can pair up your Bluetooth controllers. You can get yourself a grip and a case, and you've got a fantastic portable console. And you can have lots of fun. So there we are. If you haven't got your H yet, we'll leave a link in the description below as well for an affiliate link. In the meantime, please do subscribe and please do like this video. Particularly useful if you can subscribe to us, please, because then we can grow the channel and that really helps us. And we've got lots more content coming on the H and hopefully some more handheld consoles very soon coming out of China, which we're absolutely bewitched by this technology. We think it's superb to be able to play all the games we wanted to play when we were a kid but couldn't. Just got to find the time now to do it. Okay, take care. Many thanks for watching. Bye bye.